Hope everybody had a lovely day. You are happy with what you achieved today. We're going to talk tonight about changing timelines. Well, probably my favorite topic after manifestation. This is my number two best. Changing timelines. This changed my life many, many, many times. I have seen the changing of timelines, and what that does. So, um, I'll give you an example of what that is: quantum shift, quantum jump, all those nice and beautiful words. I'll explain it to you in simple South African English. You know that what? I'll explain it to you in that way so that you understand it. Do not worry. Now, before we do that, please make sure that you're tapping on the screen, tap, tap, tap on the screen. Make sure that you are following and subscribing. We have audio on YouTube, so you can listen to that if this missed you for some reason. You don't finish it here, you can get the recording. And then, of course, we have Instagram. All the videos that I do every week, they are on Instagram, so you can go back and check on that. There's many, many amazing topics there. And then TikTok, we're doing this between Mondays and Thursdays at after 7 p.m. All right. So now, changing timelines. All right. So when we are going through our soul journey, we always get off ramps that are taking us into a better level of where we are going. So now let me explain it in this way. If you are traveling, hey Victoria, if you're traveling from Joburg to Pretoria, you can travel on that slow lane. You are going to get to Joburg. Where are you going? You're traveling from Joburg to Pretoria. All right, you're gonna get to Pretoria, but you are a big truck, a car that is struggling on the road, and you're gonna stay on your slow lane, and that's how you're gonna get there. Oh, you could be driving your German car and you are on the fast lane and you are on that highway and you are driving highest speed you can on that lane and you're going to Pretoria, right? So the person who is on the slow lane and the person who's on the fast lane, it's a total different experience. How quickly they get there, what they experience. Probably the other car has an aircon and is playing lovely music. Probably the other car is just like going wah, 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 and so much is happening. So there are people in this lifetime right now that are on the slow lane and their life is like, oh my god, how am I gonna do this, how am I gonna do this, I don't have this, I don't have this, I in a job I hate my partner, I hate my whole entire family, I have crappy friends. It's a lot. You are literally on that slow lane. Then there are people who are on the fast lane. They are starting the big things. They are manifesting what they want. They are planning for the next big thing. Their lives are just like, what else is big? What else is happening in my life? And they don't have to complain or cry about all these crazy things that are on the slow lane. Now, all these people are going to the same direction. We are all here to learn and we're all going to go back to the source. So there's one source, we are all going there, but we can all have different experiences getting there. Now, we talked about the slow lane, we talked about the fast lane. There is now the lanes in between. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for the flowers and the love. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Please also just tap on the screen. It's much, much appreciated. And if you're joining in, please click on that follow button so that you can be able to see other live videos that we do weekly. Now, we always talk about money manifestation, money mindset, money magic, everything money. and then of course setting ourselves in the right lane of life. All right, now there is now all the other lanes in between. So there is the second slowest, there is the second fastest, and then I mean when you're going to Pretoria, you're probably going to have where the highway gives you 6 lanes. They are all going to the same place, and now you must choose because of which vibration you are at, which lane you're going to be on. Like I said, in the slow lane, things are critical. You know you are they are stable but critical, and then on the fast lane things are smooth flowing, things are just lining up, things are just there's space. Okay, now on our life, when we come into the planet, we have many lives that we are experiencing, that we are on at all times. So you live in about 17 dimensions. We live in about 17 to 28 dimensions at the same time. So there is a busi that is on lane 1. Things are not going so great there. There is a busi who's in line 17. There's a busi who's in line 5. There's a busi who's in line 27, right? Now, the busi in line 1 is the one that is really struggling, and she is currently right now alive and having that experience. Then there's busi in line 5. So then there's busi. Let me explain. Let's give an example. There is a busi in line 1. She is drug. I mean, my chart says at my lowest, I will be a drug addict. I will be broke like nobody's business. I'll probably be sleeping under a bridge somewhere. So that is a real timeline. I can take myself to that. The worst that I do, I can put myself in that position. That position is currently ready for me and it's happening. It's just that it depends which timeline am I choosing to get to Pretoria, which is to the source that we came from. But there is a busi that is so messed up that she can't be there. And then let's say in line 2, there's a busi who has a crappy job, a crappy partner, a crappy money, and da 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 da. She's just like breathing every day, but things are not going well. But at least she's got a roof under her head. Then in line 3, there is a busi who does have a good job, but the other parts of her life are a mess. Her children hate her. She's got cancer and this and that. And then in line 4, there is a busi that runs her own business. This busi is like, okay, I know what's going on. I can do I can give myself some type of freedom. Well, maybe she's just like, well, there's human beings, they are not good human beings, but they are alive with me in this planet. I'll have to just handle them as we go along. And then there is Busi in another lane, who is a healer, who is in her power, who is does not have debt, finished all her debt, has her assets, understands herself, does not take shit from nobody. And then you see, then there is a person that's a billionaire that is running the world, the whole entire world. She is on top of the world. She has done amazing things. She's known by every human being in the planet as the person who can change your life, right? You see, so when we say you're changing a timeline, we say you're going from one lane, slow lane, to the faster lane. Now you can jump two timelines, like when you're having a serious timeline shift, or you can just go from one to the next. So you need to know which timeline you need to be at. The biggest problem people do not do their changing of timelines quicker is because you do not know what timeline you need to be at. You're looking at the timeline you are on and you're thinking it's impossible. You're looking at the timeline. You have an idea in your mind of how will things look like. My partner will be like this. My money will be like that. My relationships will be like that. My job and my work environment will be like that. But you don't believe it's possible. the thing is this: once it lands in your mind, it means there is a timeline where you are having all of those things. So if it's in your mind on what you want, it means there's a timeline already with you living your best life. Now, if you are here in this timeline and you are wishing and you are crying, it's fine. It's just the timeline you've chosen for now. You can change the timeline. So, do you guys understand how the timeline thing works? Now, first thing that is so important is for you to know what does the timeline you want to be on looks like. All the days of your life, you must think about that timeline. You must feel that timeline. You must walk like you are in that timeline. You must do your life like you're in the timeline. Can you be able to do that? Can you be able to choose a timeline which already is in your mind, which can only at this point be experienced by you in your mind? Can you be able to use your mind and see the timeline in your head and then start to play videos in your mind of the timeline? Can you do that? Like, can you think of how much do you have in that timeline? Can you think of what is happening in your life in that timeline? Can you just see it in your mind? Is that possible? Anybody who can't do that, tell me now so that I can pray for you. Tell me now so that we can solve this thing very fast. If you're saying you can't see this timeline, you can't see what needs to happen, like that is the basis of all manifestation. That's the basis of all creation. Now I'm going to talk to you how you change timelines. But first of all, everybody, can we all do it? Can I see yeses? If you can think about your timeline right now, you can see your timeline. You know how that timeline that you want to change to looks like. Before we go forward, I just want to know if everybody is on the same page. Okay, I see the yeses. Sorry. Are we all I see the issue. Are we all just like okay with the fact that there is a timeline in my head? I think about it, I know it, and I am good with following up with that. Because the fact that it's in your head, it means that the timeline exists. It cannot be in your mind if it doesn't exist. Okay, so we are all happy with the fact that there is a timeline because we can think it. Now you can see yourself with that money. You can see a bank account, a Standard Bank, a FNB account with certain amount of money. You can see it in your head. Okay. Now you can see yourself with that body type. You can see yourself driving a certain car. You can see yourself in a certain house. You can see yourself in a certain job or company or business. You can see yourself running a certain business. Guys, if you don't have that picture, then you have no business to asking the universe for anything like that. The universe doesn't even need you to ask it. The universe tells you what to ask. You see how this life is a scam. The universe does not say to you, oh, shame, sit there and think about what you want. The universe tells you what is available. How do you know what is available? Because it's already in your mind. Now, somebody told you that you can't attain those things. No, they lied to you. The universe does not even wait for you to think hard. It just gives you what is already there in a timeline. All right. Now, step one is everybody is happy with that because we know if we are asking God for something, we're going to have to ask for God for something that already exists. And how do we know it exists? It's because it's in our mind. And if it's in our mind, it means there's a timeline that is already set up for us. We are good to go. All right. So now, timeline changes or quantum jump or a shift, a timeline shift is now something that you can induce. Okay, you can induce a shift, or there can be situations in your life that can push you to jump, right? Like, if there is fire under you, you normally will do what? Jump up and, run away or something. So there's two things that will happen. The universe will either um uh, entice you to change. So the universe will entice you with dreams and goals and inspiration and learnings, and showing you people that have done the same thing, and then you get interested, and then now you have this longing, all right, desire. Or then you can, the more you grow that desire, because desire is very important. That is why women can manifest easily, because women can desire way, like, much stronger than guys, and guys just know how to make things happen. So between the two, people should be working together like that, you see. Okay, now, if you don't catch the inspiration, like, you keep seeing a dream, your guys are talking to you in the dream, they're talking to you about something that is important, you keep ignoring it, then number two is that the universe then will create an event in your life that will almost feel like a fire thing, that will bring you out of something to another thing. So these events happens, like things like, there's death. You can jump a timeline during a death. There is things like divorce. There is things like losing a job, or anything that is so huge, or even sickness, like, you get cancer, you get serious sicknesses. Guys, let's tap on the screen. That thing is complaining. So now, when that thing that happens pushes you, you jump out of one situation, you jump to the next. So you will say, maybe you lose a job, then that situation forces you to start a business. You start the business, and the business works out perfect. Okay. Or you go through so much heartache in your marriage, and then you finally decide, man, I need to divorce. But then you are scared. You are like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to die. And then you do it. And then all of a sudden, all your things go, everything goes right. You see? That pain, that situation made you almost left without a choice but to push forward. A lot of people who have healed themselves from cancer, if you read studies that talks about people who healed themselves from cancer, because I mean, right now we are told there's no cure for cancer, which there is a cure for cancer, but people who actually heal themselves energetically with cancer, it is because they jump a timeline. There is a timeline where they've got cancer, and there's a timeline where they don't have cancer, and they literally are so desiring to not have this cancer so much that they break through to another timeline where there isn't cancer in their body, and then boom, they go to the doctor. The doctor the next day says, what happened? There's no cancer anymore. Now, I have seen people come through to the retreats, and they will take their ayahuasca, and afterwards they have changed timelines. They don't have sickness that they came with anymore. It's just totally stops. So that is literally, there is a timeline where you've got all the money you want in the bank. There's a timeline where you have no money in the bank, and all these timelines are available to you at all times. You can choose which one you want to be at. Okay, so now, somebody is saying, hey, Owami says, good evening, family. Sis, mina, I try to say, but unemployment living alone. He was worried about the next meeting when we mess up and a whole frequency. Oh, babes, do not worry. Just keep listening. This is your day. Owami, this is your day. Keep listening. You've heard me when I just asked you right now. to know which timeline you want to be at. So make sure you understand the timeline that you need to be at. The one that you have right now is fine. You now need to shift to the next one. So now, second thing that you want to do is make a decision. Guys, it's as simple as you deciding. I tell you guys, people who work harder in the planet do not get to get paid more. We all have seen it by now. You can work the hardest, you still don't get paid much. You can be trying to start something, and every day you're starting, and then it's just not working, and then somebody that you see like, oh, you know what, actually that person is doing very little, but they get there so easy and so quick. You are only going to get what you need energetically, nothing else, only energetically. If you can fix your energy, you fix everything. Now, you need to make a decision around these things that now you've said about the timeline that you need. So you've said maybe your timeline is leading with a certain amount that you want to create a month income that you want to make a month. Maybe your timeline is leading with health. There's a sickness you don't want in your body. So let's say it is cancer or whatever else. Maybe it is relationship wise. You want a certain type of a relationship in your life. Normally I would say to you, don't even try to say like, oh, I want this person to change. Timelines don't really work like that. It happens that a person can change and you move with them to another timeline, but most of the time you jump a timeline all by yourself. So you just be like, I need a relationship like this. You will find people who are ready for that situation in the next timeline. So this thing of being like, you want to fix a person, never works. I mean, 90% of the time it doesn't work. So relationship wise, rather just ask for something new, because if you're changing timelines, how are you going to take this person and throw them across the fence? You see, and a lot of people are trying to take people and throw them across the fence. The problem is that you can't do that, so you would have to stay with them in the mess. Now, unless you figured out how to take a person and throw them across the fence, then go for that. But I've seen a lot of people get stuck for a long time trying to take another person and throw them off it. So I always say the easiest thing in life to manifest is money, because money, you don't have to do all of that. You don't have to be thinking about, do I come along with these people? How do I take them? No, you just feel like there, and then there's money there, So money is the easiest thing. So if you are looking for money in life, please, let's focus on that, because that is the easiest. When you're changing timelines, you leave the small money here in this timeline, you go into the next timeline, you find this bigger money. Problems where people cannot move through timelines is when I want to take this with me. Then it's heavy. It doesn't happen at all. Most times there are people that have been stuck in one lifetime for the rest of their whole time while they are here, because they want to bring along other people. You can't start a business by yourself. You can't do anything by yourself. You just do not know how to do anything. You can't make a decision before you ask your friend, your mother, your whoever. You do not know how to make a decision by yourself. You're always taking people with you. It's a problem, and it can get you stuck for a very, very long time. You just need to make a decision. And then once the decision is done, let people hear about it in the news. Like, let them hear about it on SABC2, 5 p.m. I don't know when times the news there, but let them hear about it in the news. So that's the level of sacredness you should keep to your decisions. When you make them with your candles and by yourself, and do not consult with anybody other than it's a lawyer and a person who studied in that field, that you it's a lawyer, or it's somebody who has studied finance or something, somebody who can give you advice that does not has anything to do with you. You tell them the problem, then they give you advice only. Other than that, do not ask people, what should I do about this? Should I leave this person? Should I start this business? Should I? Don't. You can't change timelines like that, because you're taking other people with you, and they will always behave, they will always weigh you down. Now, you've got to understand how to make concrete decisions. Timelines happen when you make decisions. Now, unless the Lord pushes you over the hill, and now we don't know if you're going to fly or you're going to die. Because if you die, it's fine. The Lord doesn't care. You can come back another lifetime. So the Lord will push you through the edge. And then if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. Now, how many times do you feel like in your life you've been pushed through the edge? And then luckily you are still here. Other people didn't make it. Because the thing is that if you're still sitting there and you don't want to change, the Lord will push you. The Lord will push you through that. The Lord will push you, and you will you will get so depressed you don't make it. The Lord will take the job away. The Lord will, something will happen, and then now you'll have to get it on the way there. And other people don't make it. We've seen many times. Kate says, can I manifest the timeline where I have my 500 million US dollars? Damn it. Because this amount is always in my head. Wow. Kate, we are born again. A timeline is ready. That is a sign that a timeline is ready, mama. So, stage 2. Hi, Amo. Stage 2 is saying that you've got to make a decision. Make a decision before the Lord pushes you through. Because you will be pushed. I don't want to lie to you. We all get our push, right? You stay in a wrong relationship until they almost kill you. Miss Katlo says, manifesting my ex, is it fine? Wow, sis. Well, let me not talk for well, I mean, if you were asking me, I'd be like, child, get a new one. But gay, I know that in the book of life there are people that are supposed to get back together. I do not know why, but there is a part in the book of life where you meet one person and they say go back again, and then go back again. I do not know why, and I do not actually want to know why. But let's just say, in your case, you're supposed to get back together with that past person. Yes, baby, it's possible, and it happens, and it's normal to manifest your ex. But why would you do it? Why? Now I'm just asking, I'm just answering you in the most in the truth of the spiritual realm. Yes, you can manifest your ex many times, as much as you want. Okay, but anyway, let me not joke about this. So it happens that sometimes a person that is your soulmate, a person that is your twin flame, a person that is your okay, even karmic partners that so let's start with karmic. If you haven't learned the lesson, they will come back many times to teach you the lesson until you learn it. So this is going to be traumatic all the time. So you're going to meet and traumatize each other, and meet and traumatize each other, and meet and traumatize each other until somebody learn the lesson. And these people normally will end up killing each other at some point, because the karma is so strong. All right, so that's one level of this ex business. Then the other level is that the soulmates might meet, and then what happens is that one of them is not ready for the relationship. Then they will have a separation time, And during the separation time, the one that is sleeping will wake up and be like, oh my goodness, actually I've missed out. I've made a mistake. This was the person. Now I know. So you'll hear those people who will come back and be like, where Jesus, I found out you are the one. Be careful of narcissists now, but they use the same line. So you better come with check. You better come with check before you manifest rubbish again in your life. And if it's a karmic partner, you definitely need healing, because that is dangerous. Okay, so, and then can my child be my twin flame? Not twin flame, but your child can be your soulmate. So twin flame is something else. I'm gonna say we don't want to manifest rubbish. No, we don't. We don't want to manifest. Like what? Like we are busy here. We do not need things like that. So answering that question, yes, you can manifest your ex back to your life, depending on what is the story behind the, or you just need to die when, and you just manifest the death again. Like that is possible. That is definitely possible. But I'm not saying that you, if you find out for real that this relationship, it needs to happen again. Now, one thing you want to do is don't sit there and wait for it to happen. Go out and find data. Go out there and have relationships with other people and learn other new things in life and enjoy your life. And then the day whoever is ready for that, then it will happen again. So do not waste your happiness like that. That's just me. I mean, you can do it whichever way that the Lord leads you. Now let's go back to important things. Money. Now you've got to learn to make serious important decisions. Changing timelines is about you changing your mind. Actually, truthfully speaking, your body, as you see it, it will change, but you won't feel the change. The only thing that will change is your mind. So you've got to be very, very strict with yourself and say, I am making the decision. Like when you are leaving a job, it's a hard decision. It's a maybe even painful decision. But somebody's gonna have to decide. I have had enough of this environment. I am traumatized here. I am depressed here. This place is asking for my mental health. This person is causing me cancer. I have had enough and I am done. So you have to do that hard work of making a decision. Now, a lot of people sit and hope and wish something changes and they're not making a decision. You can't. You've got to make a decision that I'm starting this business today. I am starting this now. I am doing this. You have to make the decision. If it's a money decision, you have to make a decision. You have to commit yourself to this new goal. You have to say, I'm available. If you have a spiritual calling and you've been running away from it, you have to say, I am submitting myself today. I am ready. I am doing this. I am taking the stand. I will stand with this calling. People will laugh at me. People will say I have failed at my job. Now I am doing weird things. I will stand by my decision. Maybe it's a relationship that you need to leave. You will say it's gonna be hard. It is hard. It is painful, but I can't continue like this. I can't be with a person that treats me like this. I can't do this. Timeline change. You've got to make that decision. The thing is that if you make that decision yourself, it is much more controlled than when the universe pushes you through the edge. You really, really don't want to have a universe push you through the edge momentum. Oh, thank you so much. Wena Victoria, a slice of cake. Jesus Christ, I've never seen that one before. So thank you guys. Thank you for the flowers and the gifts. Now, you have to put yourself in that zone. So click on the follow button, guys, as you come in. You have to make sure that you are taking the decision that you need to take. And it is, I tell you, the life and death part of this. When you make the decision, that's when you create the off ramp. Remember, I said you are in lane 1, it's very slow. Lane 2 is slower. Well, lane 7 is very fast. You've got to create this off ramp where you off ramp to lane 2. Now, if you're in lane 2, you want to off ramp to lane 3. And lane 3, you want to off ramp to lane 4. When you make that decision, you create the off ramp. Now, depending on how solid that decision is, guys, it's a matter of a decision. Depending, I mean, all of you have probably changed a timeline at some point in your life, and it started with a big decision you had to make. And it could have been an exciting one, thank God for that. But most of the time, these decisions are not fun. If you are going through a divorce, it's not a fun decision. If you are leaving a job, it's not a fun decision. If you're starting a business, it's a scary decision. If you are whatever that it needs to be, like even if you are just changing an eating plan, a diet, it's still a scary decision. That is why people make it and tomorrow they are back to their old ways. But if you make this decision and you commit to it, that is when you create the magic. You create the perfect situation that you need. But it's not going to happen because you have done like so much work, you have put in so much. It's going to happen when you change your energy. Life is energy. Life doesn't need you to work harder than you are working today. And we've been lied to that. Oh, I don't work hard, that's why I don't have things. No, you haven't made the right decision. That's why you don't have the things you want. Can we just like make peace with the fact that it's not that you're not working hard that you don't have the things you want. It's because you haven't made the decision you need to make. That's why you don't have the things you need. There are decisions you need to make, and if you can make those decisions, clean, your life comes right. But when you want to work hard, you're working hard where? In one timeline where there's a mess. You're working hard on the mess. You're making the mess messier. Does it make sense? You don't need to work harder. You need to make different decisions. That's all. And you know the decisions. And if you don't know, then we can talk about what decision you need to make. But 90% of the time, you know exactly what decision you need to make, but you don't want to commit to it. And that the universe can't come to that part. And then when the universe is ready for you, it will push you. It will literally push you. And then you're going to land where you need to land. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. Unfortunately, guys, it's not a joke. Sometimes if the universe is pushing you, you might just break down and kill yourself. Sometimes the universe pushes you, you survive. Sometimes the universe throws the sickness at you, you make it. Sometimes the universe throws the sickness at you, you don't make it. Now that is up to, I don't know what, but you don't want to get yourself to that place where the universe is pushing you through the needle and is saying, can you survive? Can you decide? The money you want does not need you to work harder. It needs you to change the decisions. Manifestation, guys, is a desire issue. It's not a how hard are you working? How hard are you working? No, manifestation is a desire issue. You've got to show up with desire. And I tell you, only desire. Ask slay queens, they will tell you the story. Only desire makes the magic happen. But the planet has taught you over and over that you're not working hard enough. You're not working hard enough. You know what? If you're not working hard enough, then you're going to lose the system and focus on working hard while you are working on the wrong lane. Now, timeline changes, quantum jumps happens when you decide. And as we've talked about it in the beginning, you've got to make sure that you get the memo. Prepare the memo correctly, like I've taught you in step 1. Prepare the memo. If you've prepared the memo correctly, the decision is going to be easy. You see that you see the point. It could be a different, it could be a difficult decision, like I have to leave a job, I have to leave a relationship, I have to leave maybe even a marriage or this and this. But if you've done the blueprint correct, the first step correct, you will not be scared, you will not doubt. And then your decision making is the part where now you create enough desire for this timeline to change. Now, let me tell you, when the timeline, normally what happens, now, how do you know the timeline is changing? So, later last year, around about October, so those months, October, September, November, I got so sick. So I knew that I was about to, I knew Jan 2025, I knew when the year began that I was going to have a spiritual awakening in 2025. But I didn't know, of course, when is it going to happen, the date and this. But of course, I look at my astrology chart, I see the drama there, and I'm like, ooh, this, I don't know who's going to trigger it, how it's going to be triggered, but I know. And I had to fast for 21 days, beginning of 2025. I had to fast for 21 days. I didn't eat for 21 days. Well, of course, I used San Pedro, and San Pedro is amazing, kept me going the whole time. But I was being strengthened for the push. The push was happening, and literally my guys and my ancestors were training me that it's coming. You're going to go through the fire, because your brain hasn't catch up with the next level of things. And when you go through the fire, you need to be strong that you make it. Guys, not all fires that comes from the Lord you going to survive. I tell you this without playing you. I am not lying to you. Not all fires that comes from the Lord you're gonna make them. So I got this, and I'm so grateful because I listened and I went through with it. Now, then the time came for me to go through the fire. Hey, the fire started, and I was like, what the hell? What the hell? Now, one of the biggest things that in the past probably 7 years, because we were all going through the 10 years period, and then this year is another one. It's another one. It's the beginning of another 10-year period in the astrology charts. Now, one of the things that I had wanted in these 10 years was for me to lose weight. Like, I was just struggling with weight so much, it was no longer fun. I wasn't losing even one. I could do whatever. Even when I did the 21 days of fasting, I didn't lose the weight. How traumatic is that? But it was no longer about a physical experience. I needed to be somewhere else where the body is the size I want. Like, I needed to leave the timeline with a fat body. I needed to go into a timeline with another body. Now, the body was one thing. There was so many other things in this new timeline that I had wanted, and those things just needed me to change timelines. There wasn't any work that I needed to do. Now, guys, this is going to sound like a miracle, but I'm just trying to prove to you how this timeline thing change works. Okay, so now I had 21 days of not eating, and I'm not losing weight. And then, but of course, I did what I needed to do, and I got prepared for it, right? Come that time, September, October, November, right? Then I get the spiritual awakening. Of course, iyakhala iting ziyakhala, ngena. All right, get the push. The push is horrible. The push is, oh my goodness, God, you don't love me. God, how can you do this to me? I'm kicking and screaming, and you see me there at the edge of the mountain. I'm rolling down. Ooh. So, I couldn't sleep. I had it felt like I had coals thrown at me, the whole entire body. I was I felt like I was in a fire, proper cold thrown at me. My family will take me to the ER at 3 a.m. in the morning. At the ER, they will test me for everything and they will say she does not have nothing. She's the healthiest person. While I'm dying, they will give me drips, they will give me medication, strongest painkillers, nothing will work. And they will send me home. They'll be like, we can't even admit her. There's nothing wrong with her. We've tested everything that we can ever test. While I was dying, like literally, I could feel my soul coming out of my body. And during that time, there was a conversation that I was going through with the universe, and this conversation was serious. And me, I was like, I am not ready. I am not ready. And the conversation was like, you either decide you do this or you don't. It was like, you do this or you don't. And I could see. But now I lost 15 kilograms of weight in 1 week during that time. Now, medically, I almost said legally, like, you know, like life legal, you can't lose 15 kilograms in 1 week. It does not happen. It does not happen. It can only happen if you've changed timelines. You've gone from one season, one body to another. Literally, guys, like, I lost 15 kilograms of weight in 1 week. Now, I don't know what happened. Like, I slept and I woke up and I didn't have the weight. Okay, so everybody was shocked. I was shocked. I was just like, I don't understand what's happening. And then, of course, things went on. And then I finally said, yes, it was a lot of drama. I've told people this story at the retreat. And I'm not going to tell you what was the conversation about. You might just judge me here. And yeah, like, I don't feel like judge today. So now, finished my timeline. Now, normally, if I lose weight, I'll gain it back. I tell you, today, I can eat anything above anything and I still don't gain even 1 kilograms. My kids were like, oh no, mama, don't worry. December is coming. You never survived December. You can try the whole year, but you never survived December. December came, I gained 2 kilograms. By the 2nd of January 2026, I'd lost it. Literally at this point, I need to make sure that I'm eating enough just so that I don't lose weight. My whole entire metabolism was down, was reset to zero. Like, I am a 5-year-old at this point, body wise, because wow, my body works so perfect. But it was not a thing that I don't understand what happened. I knew what was happening. And this was one of the things that I had imagined, and they came with a new timeline. And it was not just that, it was other miracles. Like, I'm not going to share them right now here, but there were other huge miracles, like things that I did not think were humanly possible that can happen to me. They happened literally during that time. But yes, I was thrown, I was pushed over that edge. And thank God I was prepared for it. I made it. Now, what I'm saying to you is that do not wait for the Lord to push you. Do not wait for the Lord to push you. And if you are being pushed right now, you are screaming in the air, I pray that you make it. I pray that you make it. This is where then you need to call out for help. This is where you need to do your healing as quickly as possible, that you make it through the drama, that you make it through the financial challenge, that you make it through the relationship heartbreak, that there are people who don't make it through a relationship heartbreak. As like, I didn't know this. Actually, it happens. People don't make it through a relationship heartbreak. They lose their mind, they have a nervous breakdown, and they lose their lives just from that. I was never ready for that information, but it happens, right? I know about money because I've been there, done that, got that t-shirt. Definitely, people do not make it sometimes through financial hardships. And you don't wanna be the example. You don't wanna be the example. You don't wanna be the one that the Lord uses you as a test in the class. Amo says my financial challenge needs healing. Yes, babes. You need to make sure that you are fixing it as soon as possible. Because there are people who don't make it through a financial challenge. There are people who don't make it through a divorce. There are people who don't make it through cancer. There are people who don't make it through these things, and you do not want once your day of being pushed through another lifetime comes, you miss that chance. You don't. So that is why I'm always saying, guys, let's do the healing work. Guys, drink your ayahuasca. Guys, drink your San Pedro. These are psychedelic, and we are going to the retreat next week. I'm so excited. March 6 to 8. We're going to our first retreat for the year in 2026. It's in George. You don't want to miss it. And actually, there's 2 days left for the discounted pricing. On the 28th is the last day. So you need to make sure that you're signing up for that retreat. Drink your ayahuasca at the retreat. It's a 6-hour process. Drink your San Pedro. It's an 18-hour process. These are psychedelics that will trigger your timeline change. I've seen people go through their biggest timeline change at these retreats. This is, you need to make sure that you have decided what is the change that needs to happen, and then you make the decision, and then you drink your ayahuasca. I promise you, there's no way you cannot survive this. If I survived last year, because that's all I did, I made the decision, I drank the medicine, and then when the time for my push came, because still it was just such a huge thing, I couldn't start it by myself, but I was like, God, you can do it. God, you can do it. You can do the push. I'm ready. Well, I wasn't really ready, like you're never ready for these things, but I was like, I've got the strength. I will make it. I will get the parachuter going. And then, God gracious, I got my parachuter and I made it. Look at me today. I have got a whole brand new body for free. Well, it's not for free. I mean, I suffered a lot for it. In 1 week, suffering type of a thing, right? So, and it was not about even like I'm suffering for the body. It was me just changing to a new timeline with so much peace, with no depression and anxiety, with so much joy. And then, like I said, there's a whole lot of other things that came with this timeline. Precious things that I've always wanted, and I just did not know how ever would they happen. And then boom, they happened. So we talked about step 1. And if you missed it, please check on the recording. We talked about step 1. You need to make sure that you are on the news, you are on the understanding of what the universe is giving to you. It's gonna be in your mind. You've got to think it, you've got to see it, you've got to know it from that point of, if it's in my mind, then I'm due for it. Number 2, you've got to make the decision. Once you make the decision literally set up the next lane. The decision gives you the off-ramping rights. And then when the push comes, because there will be some kind of a push, right? When the push comes, you will make it because you know where you're going. You know where you're going. You can't cry and roll on the floor. You know where you're going. You've got what it takes to get there. So at the retreat, we're gonna be doing the healing. So if you are going through a money trial, well, go through it and get support through your money trial. If you're going through a love relationship trial, go through the whole damn thing, get it done, close the door, put cement on the damn thing, cement the rubbish. Like, guys, 2026, when we close the door, we close it for real. We don't joke with it. It could be any door. You're closing a relationship door, you're closing a money dramatic door, a debt door, like you need to close a debt door. There are people who have the debt doors open. You need to close that thing. You need to put cement on that thing. Never ever to open that thing. Like, never ever will I be in debt. Cement closing that thing. You see that? Relationships that are wrong for you, cement it. Be like, I'm out. You will never smell my perfume. Yeah, but that is like, you can't be 1 meter from me ever again. Cement the thing. Cement it. Yeah, but it's a job that you hate. You keep starting a business and then going back. Keep starting a business and going back. Be like, you know what? This whole thing up and down, I'm leaving it behind. Cement the whole thing. Cement. Just like never ever again. I can have other issues, but this is not. Cement the thing. That specifically, guys, I need you to, when you come through to the retreat and you are coming through with the financial trouble, I need you to cement that whole thing of debt. First of the things that you're gonna be, we're starting the preparation process next week. First on that list, if you have a financial struggle that you're currently going through, put cementing of debt. Busisiwe Lesho, shall never, ever, ever have debt. I had to do that, guys. I had to do that at one point in my life. I mean, I was in 40 million rand debt. Like, you see how great that was? 40 damn million. I went through separation, lost everything. That was my push. I made it out of that push. But I had to cement the whole drama. Do not go back. Do not go back. Cement the thing, right? Don't give room for next time. Don't. You have your credit record, it's looking and shining and it's pretty because you changed timelines. You can change timelines and win the lottery. I do not know. Change timelines and something happens and then that debt never ever touches you again. So when you are coming in, I'm talking about the money thing because that one I know exactly how it works. Like, I know it in and out. I know exactly how the money thing works. So you start there, you started the debt thing, you cement the thing off. Then, number two, you then decide what income is your freedom amount. So I need to be making an income of this much every 3 months, an income of this much every month, an income of this much every year. You decide which one, how you're gonna put it. It can be yearly, weekly, monthly, whichever. So you decide if you are fighting a financial struggle right now. You wanna change timelines in that level. So by the time you drink your ayahuasca, those two things are in plain understanding, clarity. I am cementing the debt out. You know how much you owe. This thing of like, I owe so much, I don't know how much I owe is wrong, guys. So please fix that. Before you drink your ayahuasca, know exactly how much you owe, and then you are cementing that thing off. Never, ever, 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 ever to be repeated again. Okay. Then number two, you then know how much is your freedom amount. Your freedom amount is the money that you will have every month and you will not be stressed by any life. I don't have this, I don't have this. This piece says, I'm not sure why I'm only seeing or experience the sneak peek of my time. Oh, nice, babes. Okay. So, yeah, Jesu Christ. Guys, yini le nto clickani bayacomplaina le ka-TikTok, bayacomplaina bathi asikho manje, but they will end our thing. Click on the screen, please. So if I'm talking about the money thing right now, then know what is your freedom amount, guys. Like, know how much freedom, how much does your freedom cost? So if your freedom costs 50,000, it costs 50,000 a month. If your freedom costs 60,000, if your freedom costs 80,000, it costs 80,000. So what are you saying is that 80,000 is the amount that I need for me to not complain and worry about life. I can now focus on my coding. I can focus on my papers because I have got the 50,000, because I've got the 80,000, because I've got the what amount. Don't go like, oh, I want 50 million. I'm talking about your freedom amount, the amount that if you get it every month, you will not have to worry. You see? Then you drink your ayahuasca. You have those two things. You cementing off how much debt is being cemented out of your life, and what is the freedom amount that will allow you to be who you really supposed to be. Now I'm talking about money, in the money lane. And then in the relationship, same thing, right? Now, okay, in the relationship, you guys are wanting the old things. You want to manifest the old. But now, you decide what is the timeline supposed. If you are trying to throw people across the fence, I don't know I don't know how to take people across the fence, because like, how are you gonna make them do? You can't make people do what you want them to do. And then if you want to do that, you have to bewitch them. And then if you're bewitching them, you see, now you're creating yourself a serious problems. When you're going to tamper with people's timelines, you are creating karma. When you create karma, you create more problems in your life. So you see, rather just ask for a new person in the new timeline. There are 7 billion people in the planet, guys. You cannot run out of humans. You cannot run out of humans. Do not be scared of leaving one human. There is many where those people came from. God made a lot of humans. Do not worry yourself like that. Again, because I'm not God, and if this person, this X, you're supposed to manifest them again, then do that. And then, yeah. So know what you want. I want the old person. Why would you say that? But if you have to say it, say it. Oh, child, I don't know. But then of course, if it's a relationship, ask for the right reasons. A lot of times people don't get the relationship they want because they are just thirsty. You know what? There are ways of killing that bed without putting yourself in trouble. If you want to know, ask me. Ntlhakadipo says, thank you so much. There are a lot of humans. I tell you, there are a lot of humans. 7 billion God created. And he's not even asking us, he's not even giving us an invoice. He says, take my children, take as much as you want. So just don't do that to yourself. Do not do that to yourself. 7 billion people out here. God did not even ask us for anything in return. God said we can have them as much as we need to. Why, when are you trying to create yourself problems you've already seen that you've created before? Like, create new ones. Like, we always have to create problems, but you want to have nice problems, nice life problems. There's no relationship that will never have problems, but you just want to have better problems. There are problems that you don't deserve. There are problems that are good to have. Like, maybe you do not hear each other when you speak. The other one speak another language, and the other one and you're like, we are so in love. We have money, but we can't hear each other. You see, that's a problem we can solve. That's a problem we can deal with. Like, have those kind of problems. Not just like, chose a person who's broke. Yay, we are in broke land. And we love each other in broke land. Yo! Yes. Okay, so, but relationships are good in the timeline changing business. Relationships are good. You can get yourself a proper relationship, not umhlolo, not a problem, not a mistake. You can get yourself a proper relationship with timeline changes. I just am very much more inclined to doing easy things, which is money, right? But relationships, you get what you ask for. Totally. It's possible. So do not be worrying yourself with things that are not moving, because there are things that are better out here. Very much. A lot of bigger things. So at the retreat, we're gonna be having 5 ceremonies. So like I said, this is the process of preparing for the retreat. Put your intention out there, make the decision, and then let the retreat help you figure out the decision you have made, how to live with the decision you've made, how to benefit from the decision you've made, right? So the healing comes through, and it helps you to be able to run the business, to be able to implement the business, to be able to implement the things that you said needs to be implemented. Okay. So we're having a river cleansing, which is you now negotiating with your guides on the decisions you've made. So you've made this big decision. Now you're negotiating how this is supposed to go down. We have fire cleansing ceremony where you're removing cases, past cases, current cases that can be still dragging you to this mess. Okay. And then we're having brain reset, nervous system reset, where we remove the thoughts and the patterns of thinking that you've been thinking that has landed you where you are right now, which is not a place you want to be at. And then there's ayahuasca, which is 6 hours psychedelic. You drink it, you talk to your guys about the past pain and the past hurt and the past pain that you've been through, the past traumas that have made you look at yourself a certain way, think of yourself a certain way. Then San Pedro is the one that is going to make you do the things that you're supposed to do. There's procrastination, the moving forward, the implementing, the taking action. So now 2 days to go to registering with discounted pricing. Make sure that you are sending an email, pa@busiceleshop.com, pa@busiceleshop.com. And then please make sure that you are sending an email and asking for the page that has all the information about the retreat. And then, of course, if you need a session, I am available Mondays to Fridays at 4 a.m. till 9 a.m. in the mornings. We do the sessions online. You can come with questions that you need to ask. As many as possible questions that you need to ask, you can come with and ask your guys and ask for direction on things that are important to you. And then, of course, the retreat is going to be amazing. You don't want to miss the retreat. A lot of people are worried, will I die? Will ayahuasca kill me? Will San Pedro kill me? Definitely not. We give you a dosage that is, we test your energy with what dosage you need. You take a dosage that is specific to what you are there for. Everybody gets a different dosage. Everybody gets what they have asked for. Hence, the asking process is very important. The retreat is in George this time around. We are going to George, the Western Cape, so looking forward to that. So if you need that, please send an email, pa@busiceleshop.com, or send an inbox and ask for the link to get the information on that. Now, guys, do not take yourself lightly. If you know there's something in your life that needs healing, if you know you need to change timelines, if you know you've been living a life and now you're tired of it, you need to change to a new timeline. Do not doubt that voice that says time to change. One of the most important things is that once the shit hits the fan, you wanna be strong enough to handle these kind of things. But again, you wanna be making sure that when these things that are hard, that are here to bring you the blessing happen, you see them because you have done the healing work. Amo says, I have a heaviness in my heart, not sure what is happening. So Amo, with that, you can definitely book a session. We can look at it. But also, taking the psychedelics helps a lot when you're feeling heavy. It helps a lot. Rue says, my destiny helper, seems I have joined late today. What time did you start? Oh, sorry, baby. We started at about 10 past 7. But you can catch Instagram recording. You really want to hear the topic today? So make sure you go to Instagram and check it out after this. So, Amu, when you feel a heaviness, it is one of those things where the lights are going on and your guys are saying, hey, by the way, there is something important that you need to deal with. And it's either they are preparing you for your push and they want you to be strong enough to handle that push. It's either they are showing you something bigger that it needs to happen and you feel it in your essence, you feel it in your vibration. So do not hope it away. Do not deal with it. Ask the questions that you need to ask. Find out what is waiting for you, because you don't want to miss your big blessing just because you like, I don't have time for this. Well, you definitely have time for a new timeline. Everybody has time for a new time. That new timeline thing is good. It's good for your soul, good for everything. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I am going to ask that you send your emails, pa@busiceleshop.com, and then make sure that you are getting your discounted pricing for the retreat and you're coming through to the retreat. Do this for yourself. Do this for yourself. Do this for yourself. Go to that Instagram page, and there is a phone number there. There is a phone number here, a WhatsApp line. You can send a WhatsApp message, or you can send it just a DM. Miss Abby says, I seem to struggle with self-belief, but I always get guidance from my guides. Yes. So things like that, things like believing is one of those critical things that money can't show up until you believe you can or you are. Now, when you fix it, oof, now life just seems to flow, right? Owami says, I'll be offering my services as an assistant on the future coming retreats and river cleansing I'm arranging with your PA. Okay, Owami, thank you so much, baby. We really appreciate your help. When you can be able to come through and offer assistance at the retreats or any other ceremonies that we do, we really, really appreciate. May God bless you. Thank you so much. Okay. Now, thank you so much, guys. Let's meet again. Oh, tomorrow is Friday. No, tomorrow we don't do this. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to golf. My goodness. Tomorrow I'm going to golf. I'm going to have a whole entire golf weekend. I am going to be living my soft life this weekend. So thank you so much, guys, for coming to. Oh, we have river cleansing Sunday morning. So if you are knowing that, you also just need to get a hoo-ha. We have river cleansing this Sunday morning. River cleansing is very good for you to negotiate important decisions in your life and get guidance on important things and just remove bad luck and redo the timeline, reset the timeline for things that have gone out of place. So this Sunday, 7 a.m. in Pretoria, we're having our river cleansing. Make sure that you come through if you can be able to. Thank you so much, guys. You have a lovely, lovely day. Bye-bye.